And good morning. Welcome to a Coffee Jolt with Johnny Cleveland. Happy Friday. It's a fun Friday. Oh, yes. That's what I always say to my son, Grant Man, as he heads out the door. My youngest Grant, many of you know, has autism. He's a great dude. He was going off to his doggy daycare to help out with the dogs. Loves working with those dogs. And, right, we're Cleveland Browns fans. We love dogs, right? Welcome to the Fanatical Elves Network, part of Fans First Sports Network. I am your host, John Suchan. On this Friday morning, I'm outside again because it is so beautiful here in the Buckeye State. Temperatures are in the low 60s. We've opened the windows. The day is going to be fun. We have the Rib Festival down here in Columbus. If you are near Columbus area, you could probably smell the Rib Fest. Wherever if you're close by, it's going to be a great weekend. Rib Fest, music, all sorts of fun stuff down here. So, yeah, we are a Browns podcast, and no, I'm not wearing the hat today. I forgot to put my ball cap on. I do have hair, right here. Yeah, before we started, we had a little technical glitch. We've actually had there's been a global outage, IT with the Microsoft whole Windows thing, American Airlines, all those, United, Delta, they all got messed up this morning with flights. I know there's a lot of angry customers. It's hilarious to me. They're talking about this stuff locally, and then they go to the local airport here in Columbus, and then, they start talking about how things are starting to get up and running and all this stuff. But then they go back and they show part of an interview that they had with some customer where the customer complains about, well, they should have let us know and all this stuff. And it's like, it's a global outage. They didn't know. Like, and it's just backwards in their reporting. Like, you say that things are getting better, but then you go back and you show a customer that's upset and angry. And, oh, that is the world that we live in these days, right? Oh, boy. So, yeah, I'm smaller in this photo. If you're watching us here on YouTube, thank you. We want to, again, congratulate our winner from last night, Tim. I can't pronounce your last name. I forgot the technical spelling of it. I'll get it here. But congratulations to Tim for winning the T-shirt, the Browns T-shirt. All you got to do is subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us here on the X. If you happen to be watching us on the X, you're probably watching through Fans First Sports Network. So follow them along. Great parent network that is helping us with the Fanatical Elves. And maybe you're watching us on Facebook. We have a Facebook page as well, the Fanatical Elves. Check us out so you never miss a show that way. But we really need you to download us on Apple, on Spotify, and then you never miss a show. And that's how we get our pennies right now. And we love that. We have some great contributors to our programming here. Lou Marconi does his Burning River Browns talk. We have the Browns Blitz with Rod Bloom. Both of those guys had shows come out this morning. I would highly suggest that you check those out. Steve Gill does his Dog Pound South show. Sammy down there in Dallas, Texas, does his Browns breakdowns. We got Jarrell Flint with his Dog Food Radio. And we got Noah Olson with the East Bank show, Mondays and Wednesday evenings. Great stuff there. He's got a bunch of his old colleagues that cover a bunch of things, not only the Brown stuff, but also other Cleveland news. So we're bringing you everything that we can. Hope you enjoy it. We're gearing up for training camp. Many of you Browns fans are excited about that, as we are too. We'll be bringing you coverage of training camp every day, and just excited. It's a week away. They're going to be showing up there in Berea and then going down to Greenbrier, West Virginia, and it should be a lot of fun. Then we hit the preseason. Preseason games, folks, are less than a month away. We have I think the first game is the Green Bay Packers, and then I think it's the Chicago Bears game, and then the Browns travel all the way out west to Seattle to play their last preseason game, which is a bit unusual, but I think, they talked about this prior with Kevin Stefanski and how kind of gearing them up for that West Coast jaunt that they'll have to do later on in the year. I think they go out to Las Vegas. And anyway, I'm going to wake up with my coffee. It is about 9:38 here local time. You're probably going to be watching this a little bit after 10 once it gets out, because I'm recording it got off to a technical glitch because I was outside and my mouse fell to the pavement here below me, and the mouse is functioning, but not as well as it did prior to. So if there are any more technical glitches, I'm going to blame it on the mouse. It was a cheap mouse. I bought it from Amazon for a couple bucks, so we might have to go buy another one. Well, we all know the big stories. I've already talked a little bit about Amari Cooper, Nick Chubb. We're waiting on to see what happens with CeeDee Lamb down in Dallas. I'm very interested in that scenario because I think it's going to have an impact on what happens with Amari Cooper. As far as Nick Chubb is concerned, Mary Kay Cabot, great reporter, beat writer for the Cleveland Brownies, or the Cleveland.com, is reporting that Nick Chubb is probably going to start on the PUP list for training camp at least, and that's fine. Will he be ready in week one? I say yes. I say yes. And I think Browns fans are going to be super, super more excited than ever. And it could be just a fantastic season ahead. Knock on wood, we're going to the Super Bowl and we're going to win the damn thing. A lot of lists that come out. I talked about this on our Fanatical Elf show last night. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Sam, for joining part of that last night. And we were talking about some lists that, lists this time of year do they mean a lot? Amongst executives, coaches, players, there was a vote, about who has the best players in each position, like running back, cornerback, tight end, wide receivers, things like that. And the Browns were a team that had 6 players that were in at least the top 10 amongst those different areas. So they were one of the higher rated teams. I think the San Francisco 49ers had 9 different players in those categories. And so the Browns had 6. So that's really super great. The other list that we talked about that was just crazy stupid. FanDuel came out, and I think Steve said it. I think they're basing it on this projection of how many wins the Browns are going to get. 8.5 wins, or plus or minus that. And so they ranked the Brownies 22. I mean, just crazy. They had teams like the New York Jets and the Chicago Bears ahead of the Brownies in this list. Are you kidding me? I mean, it's just dumbfounded, but they're ranked 22 on this FanDuel list. I ignore it. Completely false. Not going to be the case. Denzel Ward rated high in that rankings for the cornerback. I think it was talked about last night throughout social media. Number 2 amongst his peers and coaches and executives feel that he is the number 2 best cornerback in the league when he's healthy. That's always been the concern with Denzel coming out of Ohio State. Even I remember talking about it way back when. Well, that's about all we got with the Brownie news. Let's take a break real quick. This is Coffee Jolt with Johnny Cleveland. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. Thank you for sticking with us, and I hope you have a great weekend ahead. I did want to give a shout out. I didn't say anything last night on the Fanatical Elves Network, but Bob Newhart, great comic actor, died yesterday. He was 94 years old. Now, many of you who are younger probably have no idea who I'm talking about, but Bob Newhart was a really cool character, just amazing comic, and deadpan, snarky, could just deliver lines and humor in a way that not a lot of people can. So he had a great life, 94 years old. And we had the Bob Newhart shows over the years in the 70s, 80s, so really sad to see that he died, but he had a great career, and it's been fun kind of seeing some of the old clips. So pretty cool. Not cool that he died, but he had a really cool career. We talked about Baker Mayfield yesterday. I want to give again props to him. Hope he has a good training camp with Tampa Bay. No, I'm not cheering for Tampa Bay, but the kid did a lot of good things here in Cleveland. So guards start start up again. They have they're on the I think they're on the road right. No, they have 2 home series against the Padres are up tonight. Yeah, so looking to go into a game up to the Guards. Anybody have any suggestions? I live in Columbus, so we have friends that are also a Reds fan. So I'm looking at going down to Cincinnati. Not a big Reds fan. I don't mind the Reds just because, I've been going to see Reds games since I was a kid. I had friends that were from Cincinnati. So they actually knew the Griffey family. And so that's kind of a side story. I think I probably shared that before in our Johnny Cleveland podcast. But one of my best friends knew Ken Griffey Jr. And back in the 1990s when they were in the old stadium still, my friend went and talked to Ken Griffey Jr. when Ken Griffey Jr. were just coming up in the league. He went down to the field level and talked to Ken Griffey for like 10 minutes. That's not a joke. That's a serious story. It actually happened. We were awestruck. Ken Griffey Jr., just a Hall of Famer and everything that he is. So pretty cool stuff. So the Guards had their series come tonight. I know this Jason, with the Cavaliers, they got the Jason Tatum kid. They had a nice game yesterday, 20-some points. In a preseason game that doesn't really matter against the Los Angeles Lakers, who also don't really matter. The Cavs actually lost that game, but they're playing around. They're glorified scrimmages right now in this summer league. So we'll see how that goes. But all our attention right now is gearing up toward training camp. We're going to have everything that we can provide you with coverage. We will be updating you on anything that we hear as far as extensions. I know JOK is in the news. Will he get an extension? The linebacker for the Cleveland Browns. But I think most of our attention is toward Amari Cooper and Nick Chubb. When will he return? And could it be week 1? All right, folks. I hope you have a very good rest of your Friday. It's a fun Friday. Enjoy the weather wherever you're at. I think it's pretty nice weather across the country, actually. So if you're listening to us from Kansas, I know there's some Browns backers there that I know. I hope you have a hot summer day there in the heartland. But again, take care and remember, Browns fans. There's always 3 things to remember. You as a Browns fan, you wake up with hope, right? Yeah, you do, because we're just internally hopeful as Browns fans. We're always hoping for that next win, for that Super Bowl. You also know that you always have somebody else's back. You always have that Browns backer's back, or that other Browns fan's back. We're all talking about, we've been concerned about someone like Bernie Kosar, who was a great quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. And many of us feel a connection to Bernie because he came up and really wanted to be a Cleveland Brown. Kind of like LeBron wanted to be a Cavalier and bring a title. And then third, it's Friday, folks. So it's got to be 5 o'clock somewhere. Take care. Go Browns.